All right, let's talk about the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, but maybe not in the way you're used to thinking about him. See, Nietzsche saw himself less as a typical philosopher and more like, well, a cultural physician. He took one look at the modern world and diagnosed a profound crisis, a deep sickness right at its heart. And the cure he proposed? It was so radical, so intense that we are still debating it today. So let's dive right in. You've all heard this one, right? It's probably his most famous and definitely his most misunderstood statement. God is dead. Now, for Nietzsche, this wasn't some kind of triumphant cheer or a celebration, not at all. It was a sober, almost clinical diagnosis. He was saying that the belief in the Christian God, which had been the very foundation of Western morality and meaning for centuries, had simply become unbelievable. So what happens when that foundation just crumbles away? You get a vacuum, a terrifying void. By losing this bedrock, humanity lost its moral compass, its true world that it was supposed to aspire to. This collapse of meaning, this creeping sense that maybe, just maybe, nothing matters anymore, that's the crisis Nietzsche called nihilism. Okay, so let's look a little closer at this diagnosis. Nietzsche saw humanity standing at a crossroads with two possible outcomes. The first one? It's a descent into this nihilism, which gives rise to a truly tragic and frankly pathetic figure, the last man. Here we see Nietzsche's specific definition of nihilism. It's that moment when our highest values just kind of devalue themselves, they evaporate. The old pillars that held everything up, faith, absolute reason, even the blind optimism of science, they just can't support the weight of our existence anymore. They become hollow. And what shuffles into this empty space? A new kind of person. A person who isn't looking for greatness or for meaning. Nope. They're just looking for comfort and security. And for Nietzsche, this isn't the next step in human evolution. It's a dead end. This is the creature he called the last man. This quote is just chilling, isn't it? The last man's happiness is this small, pathetic, blinking thing. It's the contentment you get from being part of the herd. A shallow kind of pleasure you find by avoiding any and all struggle, all pain, all ambition. So as you can see here, the last man is the ultimate conformist. He wants a world with no sharp edges, no danger, no reason to strive for anything more than, as Nietzsche put it, a little poison now and then that produces pleasant dreams. It's like a vision of humanity with its soul surgically removed. But Nietzsche didn't just give us the diagnosis. He also offered a cure. The alternative to this bleak picture of the last man, the new goal Nietzsche sets for us, is the Ubermensch, which is often translated as the overman or, Superman. And this comparison just lays it all out so clearly. Where the last man is passive, the Ubermensch is active. Where the last man wants comfort, the Ubermensch embraces self-overcoming, that constant, grinding struggle to become more than what you already are. And where the last man lives in this fog of apathy, the Ubermensch is defined by this powerful, resounding yes to life, to all of it. Now, this is absolutely crucial. We have to be crystal clear about what the Ubermensch is not. The way the Nazis co-opted this term was a grotesque, horrific distortion. The Ubermensch is not about a master race or dominating other people. It's a spiritual, a philosophical goal for the individual. It's about becoming the master of yourself and creating your own values in a world that has none left to offer. And Nietzsche makes it perfectly clear that this is a dangerous journey. He sees humanity stretched out, precariously, like a tightrope walker, between our animal past and our potential future as the Ubermensch. It's a rope over an abyss, and the fall into that abyss of nihilism and the last man is a constant, terrifying threat. So, this begs the question, right? What gives a person the strength to even try to make this perilous crossing? Where does that drive to become an Ubermensch even come from? The answer lies in another one of Nietzsche's absolute core concepts, the will to power. This, for him, is the engine of all life. It is the fundamental drive behind absolutely everything. You see, the will to power isn't just about survival. It's so much more than that. It's a will to thrive, to expand, to overcome resistance, to grow. Nietzsche saw this force everywhere, from the tiniest organism fighting for nourishment to the greatest artist creating a masterpiece. It's just life's inherent impulse to become more, to enhance itself. And just like with the Ubermensch, this concept is hugely misunderstood. The will to power is not about brute force, what the Germans call Kraft. It's not about being a tyrant and bossing people around. It's about Macht,
a sublimated, a channeled power. The highest, most noble expression of the will to power isn't dominating others, but achieving complete and total mastery over yourself.
I love this quote because it just gets right to the heart of it. True power is an internal state. It's a kind of self-possession and creative force so profound that it just radiates. Whether you're king sitting on a throne or a philosopher alone in a little garden house, it's about who you are, not just what you do. So, how does the Ubermensch use this will to power? Well, they don't build empires of land. They build empires of meaning. They turn their own life into a work of art. In a world with no pre-made values, Nietzsche's solution is an aesthetic one. We have to become the sculptors of our own character. We have to give ourselves style. It's a great and rare art, he says. And this is a fascinating, almost practical guide to this idea. First, you survey everything you are, the good, the bad, the ugly. Then you organize it all according to an artistic plan. The flaws, you don't hide them. No, you reinterpret them. You give them a new meaning. You make them sublime. It's about creating a unified, beautiful whole from the chaotic, messy material of your own nature. And this is exactly why art is so vital for Nietzsche. The truth he's talking about is that terrifying abyss of nihilism, the total meaninglessness of existence after the death of God. Art is what saves us. It's the beautiful lie, the shield we create that lets us not only endure this truth, but actually find beauty in. So this really brings us to the core of Nietzsche's whole solution. We have to stop searching for some universal objective meaning out there. It's gone. Instead, we have to take on the role of the artist and create meaning for ourselves, justifying our own existence by making it a beautiful, aesthetic phenomenon. And that, right there, is the challenge Nietzsche leaves us with. It's a call to profound personal responsibility. Can you stop being just a character in someone else's story, whether it's God's story or society's or the herd's, and become the author, the poet of your own life? Ultimately, Nietzsche's philosophy isn't just something to be studied from a distance. It's a question, and it's posed directly to you. He has shown you the abyss of the last man and the mountaintop of the Ubermensch, and his question echoes through time, right to us today. What have you done to overcome the man within you?